What's up, watchers of the Marvel Multiverse? Welcome back to the Marvelous Wave, where today we'll be discussing everything Spider-Man No Way Home after the release of the film. Today, discussing a brand new deleted scene, a scene that we've been hearing about, and a scene that's highly hinted at in the actual film itself. Before we continue, we're giving away 4 Spider-Man figures. These figures are highly posable and highly durable. All you have to do to enter to win one is like this video, subscribe with notifications on, and follow the rest of the simple rules in the description down below. Now, let's get on with it. Towards the end of the first act of Spider-Man No Way Home, Peter Parker has his first encounter with a multi-dimensional trespasser, that being Dr. Otto Octavius, and moments later, Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, before Doctor Strange ultimately saves Peter Parker from the wrath of the Goblin. After Peter Parker is transported to the crypt along with Dr. Octavius, he encounters Doctor Strange, who reveals that Doctor Strange himself has caught another multiversal trespasser, a character that the two of them are unfamiliar with, but as fans we know as Dr. Kurt Connors, otherwise known as the villain The Lizard. After the release of Spider-Man No Way Home, there were actually some pretty minor criticisms about the Lizard character, that being that the rest of the other villains that appear in the film are actually very well fleshed out, except for the Lizard, whose development is very clearly pushed to the side in favor of every other villain. Most notably, the villains of Green Goblin as well as Electro are particularly highlighted as they have some of the most screen time out of all of them. The Lizard, however, is outright not present for many key scenes involving the villains. In fact, he's the only villain that Peter Parker does not have a hand in directly capturing or directly interacting with one-on-one. Now though, we've learned that the filmmakers actually have a deleted scene involving the Lizard, and although they didn't directly reveal the deleted scene, they did reveal the description for it. What's interesting about this is we also got a description of this very interaction in the movie itself. The deleted scene involves Doctor Strange venturing into the sewers in order to capture the Lizard, and would apparently follow Doctor Strange as he discovered a multiversal trespasser and discovered that the multiverse had broken open, as well as discovered exactly what was going on, that people from throughout the multiverse who knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man were being pulled into the mainline MCU. The scene would apparently follow Doctor Strange as he lurked through the sewers in the shadows, where he would have a brief fight with the Lizard. The Lizard would obviously ambush Doctor Strange and manage to scratch him across the face, but Strange quite easily was meant to capture the Lizard, with this scene sort of playing out like a horror film. According to people that know about it, the scene is actually pretty wild and very interesting, with it not being a big reveal of exactly who the villain is until a little bit later, when Spider-Man is introduced to the villain and the audience is introduced to the villain. It does make sense that there would be a lot of Lizard scenes left on the cutting room floor, as again, most notably and actually quite noticeably, the Lizard is the character with the least development by far in the film, and many fans were curious as to exactly why it felt like the Lizard had a lot of scenes that were outright left out. Now, it's true that the Lizard in his Lizard form is a very difficult character to sympathize with and develop, as unlike someone like Electro or Sandman, their motivations aren't really understandable. His motivations are he wants to turn everyone else into a lizard, where the Sandman wants to get home to his daughter, obviously something that's very relatable, and Electro, for the first time in his entire life, feels special and cool, something that he's always wanted. These are two motivations and paths that the audience can connect with extremely easily, whereas the Lizard's motivations, not so much. Apparently though, there are more Lizard deleted scenes left on the cutting room floor, and this is just one that we're hearing about. We reported on the fact yesterday that presumably Spider-Man No Way Home was originally intended to be around 3 hours long, but that they ultimately decided that they had to cut it down because the VFX artists were too stressed, and due to the pandemic and lack of resources, they had a much more difficult time completing the film, and therefore had to shave around 30 minutes off of it, including multiple more scenes with Toby and Andrew that the writers had developed. Anyway guys, if you're interested in hearing more about these deleted scenes and concepts, be sure to hit the subscribe button as we'll be covering them all. As always my friends, hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and I'll hopefully catch you guys in the next video.